Hello everyone. Today I'm going to take you through the installation of Windows 10 on Oracle VirtualBox virtual machine. So we're going to download the ISO of Windows 10 preview. First you go to insider.windows.com. Once you're there, make sure you're logged in. If you don't have an account, go ahead and create an account. Click on Getting Started, go all the way down, get the preview. Don't click on Start Upgrade now, but see where it says here you can download the ISO, so download the ISO this way. So click on that. Make sure you make note of this product key. Now I'm going to put all these URLs on my YouTube description. You click on either the 32-bit or the 64-bit download. Most likely you're going to use the 64-bit depending on your CPU type. You can check the CPU type by going into Start, Computer, right-clicking, Properties. If it says 64-bit operating system, then go ahead and download the 64-bit ISO. Or you can always do a Google search on your processor type and see if it's 64-bit compatible. It'll say here the type and make of your processor. So you could just go to Google, type that in, and see if it's 64-bit compatible. So once you download the ISO, you also want to download VirtualBox. So go to Google, download VirtualBox, and here's going to be the download. VirtualBox for Windows host, and again we're going to do the 64-bit in this case. So once it downloads, I already have this downloaded. Go ahead and install it. Now once you install it, it might take some time to install the VirtualBox, but I'm going to take you through it anyway. So VirtualBox 4, you might want to right click on that file and run as administrator. In this case, I'm not going to do that. Run. Next. Yes, everything. Next. Create shortcut. Quick launch. We don't need quick launch. Register file associations. Why not? Okay. Next, and install. Now we're going to go through this. I might be pausing my recording every once in a while in case this takes a while, or some of these installations do take some time. I think the Windows installation might take about 30 minutes from what I'm told. Yes, I want to install this universal serial bus. These are all adapters that it's asking to install, virtual adapters in this case. Install, install. And you want to start the program. Okay, so here's Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager. What we want to do in this case is click on New. Name, you want to type in Windows 10. Okay, so let's see why it does it say 32-bit on all of these. Make sure I downloaded the right version. I'm going to re-download it just in case it doesn't work. Oh, these are all the same versions. Okay, let's try it again. Windows 10. 32-bit. I'm wondering why it shows 32-bit. Let me do a quick search. VirtualBox not showing 64-bit. Okay, turning off Hyper-V temporarily resolve this problem. Okay, let me see if I could solve this issue. I'm going to pause the video. So I'm trying to resolve why it's not showing me 64-bit in this list. We did download the 64-bit ISO, but in this case it doesn't show up any guest types as 64-bit. So if we select 32-bit and try to install a 64-bit ISO, it's probably not going to finish properly, or it's going to error out. So I will try to resolve this problem. I'll pause the video. I'm going to tell you the solution once I am done. Okay, so I'm back. The problem seemed to be that Virtualization Technology was disabled in the BIOS, so I went to the BIOS and re-enabled it. Now, as you can see, we're going to make the new VM Windows 10, and now we have 64-bit and 32-bit in the list. We're going to click that. Next, 2 gigs, why not? So we're going to reserve 2 gigabytes for this operating system. Hopefully, I only have 4 gigs on this desktop, so hopefully it'll be fine. Create a hard drive. In this case, we'll do it on D. 32 gigs is the recommended size. We'll leave it as a VirtualBox disk image. Dynamically set 32 gigs. Please type the name, so we'll leave it as default. And that's that. So we want to go into settings. And now I've never used VirtualBox before, so I've only used VMware and Hyper-V. So I'm looking for the boot section where we could set up our ISO. Point to it. Snapshot folder. It has to be here somewhere. Am I missing something? Let's see what we could do. So we'll have to see what happens if we start it. Okay, so we can select the optical disk file as an ISO. Once we start it, Windows 10, and let's hit that way. So I pointed, so when I booted it up without making many changes to the settings, or any in this case, it asks me where you want, where's the optical disk. So I selected here, file type, I selected ISO, and it's going to use the ISO as the image. Start, And let's see what happens. Boot failure. All right. Let's try this again. Okay, let's try to restart it again. Oh, same thing. Setting, system. Let's shut this down. Let's power off, power off. So we're trying to figure out why it's not booting to the ISO to start the installation. Okay, boot order, I'm going to put CD. Okay. And let's try to start it. Alright, so boot order, we had to enable the CD and the ISO had to be mounted into the CD through VirtualBox. Now this task might take about 30 minutes. Okay, now we're seeing another error. Please hold down the power button. Let's try to reset it again. If it happens again, I will pause this video and we'll see what happens. Okay, we got the same error. I will pause the video, look up the solution to this, and I will let you know what I find. Okay, so resolve that problem with the error on startup. The problem seemed to be I had on the BIOS disabled an option that says no execute memory protection. This could also be named NX bit protection or XD bit, or AMD uses something called enhanced virus protection. I had to enable that option. If you're using an AMD based motherboard, I guess you have to disable enhanced virus protection. So it's in the chipset CPU settings in the BIOS, most likely something similar. Just do a Google search on something that says no execute memory protection. It'll give you the variations of whatever BIOS motherboard you're using. Okay, so we're here at the Windows setup screen. I'm just gonna close these little prompts. Next, install now, and hopefully this will go through. Again, this is probably gonna take half an hour, so I might just pause the recording so it I don't waste your time or my time. Okay, we're going to accept the terms. Upgrade custom. Let's see what custom says. So we got 32-bit is what the setting that we enabled our VirtualBox for, to use 32-bit block size. I don't think it's going to need any more than that just for our testing. And that's it. Now this is installing. It still did not ask for our key. Again, this product key, once it asks for it, it could be found in the ISO download on on this site. I'm going to add this to the description of the YouTube video, and we'll see what happens. I will pause the video again. It's at 1%, and I'll see you soon. Okay, so this download or installation took about an hour. There was a black screen for a while. I decided to restart the VM just for the heck of it, and it came up, and this is what we're seeing. So it's asking us to create a Microsoft account within the VM. I will select, let's see if it lets us skip it. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so we'll create an account. I don't want to use my real one to log into this test. So Tom test win 2000 win 10. Create, let's put in a password. Okay, country. Canada, next. Okay, now we have to do this CAPTCHA. I'm going to make a note of that account I created so I don't forget. What sensitive info? So there's a few steps involved in getting this going. Okay, hopefully we're getting somewhere now. If my experience with Windows 8 means anything, that this is going to take at least some time. So what I'll do is I will pause the video and continue shortly. And this is it. This took about 10 minutes to finish with the getting apps ready messages. And this is the stock screen for Windows 10. Nice background. Now let's see what the settings look like. So as I said, I'm running this on a 2 gig system or VM. Windows 10 Pro Technical Preview. Let's see what the device manager looks like. Seems to be quite similar to everything else. Okay. So just before we check out some settings, I'm just going through the menu systems here. So everything in the control panel seems to be similar to Windows 8, even Windows 7. By the way, I'm running this on a Windows 7 Ultimate Edition using Oracle VirtualBox running Windows 10. So as you can see, these are my settings. Just for your info, this is my current setup for this VM. Nothing too crazy. Most of it is stock setup except for the DVD, which is an ISO that we downloaded, and memory is 2 gigs. So anyway, back to this. Control panel looks very similar. Very similar. And so here's what it looks like. We right click on this, similar to Windows 8.1. We have a search box here. See if anything changed with Internet Explorer. See what this little happy face means. Okay, so we're waiting for the startup to happen. Again, I'm running on 2 gigs of RAM on a VM on a CPU of my host computer that isn't the fastest. It's a dual core. I'm just going to show you my current setup here. So this is my host machine I use for testing. It's a 3 gigahertz Core2 Duo on 4 gigs of RAM. Again, that's nothing too crazy, which is probably why it's a little slow here. And that's it. Oh, and this is the Metro screen. It's built into the desktop, it seems. You can expand it. That's how far it expands, all the way through. Or you can minimize it. This is pretty interesting. This is fairly new. So it's more of a hybrid Metro screen, or start screen is what they call it now, and desktop menu, which is nice. It's a nice change from Windows 8 start screen. See what this task view is. So apparently you could see that windows you have running in the background. I'm going to close this one, close that one. Then look up on what this little happy face means. See what version of Internet Explorer this comes with. IE 11. Okay, see how it loads other sites. This is my own site here. Just a quick plug, I guess you can call it. Close this tab. And this comes up sort of quick. Yeah, the rendering's still a little slow, but again, it's still in beta version. So this is it. Not much changes other than the start screen and desktop more interlaced together. There's a word for it, I guess. And that's that. I'll add some description into this YouTube video on where to download the ISO, where to download Oracle VirtualBox, and any other settings that you may need to know. including some BIOS changes you might need to do in order to get this to work properly. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.